So what do I think about the Dunk and Egg show that's coming up in 2026? Or Night of the Seven Kingdoms, whatever it's called. You know what? You should have just called it Dunk and Egg. It's so much more memorable, and just rolls off the tongue. But anyway, something like a year ago, I made a video where I say that it's totally fine if George R. R. Martin never finishes A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm okay with that. I like the books as they are, even unfinished. Or actually, I mean, I love the first four, at least. Dance with Dragons was a struggle for me. But still, I think it's a wonderful saga, and even if it's not officially concluded, the 5 books do wrap up very nicely for me. And so if George doesn't want to deal with this any longer, I say let him be. Appreciate the books for what they are, which is a worldwide cultural phenomenon, say a big thank you to the artist, and then let it all go. Read new stuff, watch new stuff, check out new artists. It's fine. It's how the world works. The wheel of history. The wheel of time, if you will. And so with me having this kind of attitude to the matter, how would you think I feel about 100 other books or shows that are essentially just mildly entertaining side quests to the main story? And the only reason they're done is to milk the franchise. I don't feel good about it. My most positive stance on it is that I don't particularly care to see it. I might watch it. It might be entertaining, but at the end of the day, do I really care? Am I burning to watch a new show about adventures of a kid and a knight within what would be a second prequel to Game of Thrones? No, I don't care about that. I really don't. And before you assume that this is once again about my big problem with prequels, with Dunk and Egg, I did not care about the book either. Yes, I read it. It was like a decade ago or something. After I finished reading A Song of Ice and Fire, and I wanted more of it, I saw this book was about something in that universe. And I bought it and I ate it. And you know what? I don't even remember any particular details from it. The only thing I remember is that it's ultimately about this Targaryen kid that eventually becomes like the Crow in Game of Thrones or something. And that's it. I have forgotten all else from it. And that should tell you something. Namely, that like all the rest of the Westeros canon crap that's come out that isn't from the main Ice and Fire saga, it's just a side quest book that George felt like writing because it just seems to love side quests and world building. And you know what? As an artist myself, I completely understand him. When you create your own stuff, be it a book or a painting or a video even, you kind of feel maniacal about it, like Ford from Westworld. You feel like a god in a sense, because you're creating your own world from scratch. But the problem is, when you're in this divine creative mood and everything about your world seems so special, it only seems so to you. Nobody else would care about it. Nobody else would care about your side quests. Or at least in Martin's case. There's some people who care, I guess, because he became insanely famous. So there's always like a Preston Jacobs out there who will want to read the stuff. But generally, most people would not care about your world building. They want the big cake, the main story. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm one of these people. As shallow as it may sound, I just don't care enough to read the side quests and world building. You know, it's like The Lord of the Rings. Back in the day when I was reading it, I read all the canon, and it was amazing, but at the same time, there were these other friends of mine who were like trying to learn to speak Elvish and stuff, and I'm like, I don't really care about it that much. And I mean, when I was obsessed with like ancient Rome, I was trying to learn Latin, but at least that's a real freaking language. Like, why would you invest the time and the brain power to learn a fictional language? But I got off track. You see my point? Dunk and Egg is a world-building side quest story, and because it is, I don't really care about it. And I might just watch the show to see how it goes, but my enthusiasm level is about as high as that of a brick.